Do you guys see what's been going on around the internet recently? Everyone is talking about the downfall of AEW. And I'm one of those people as well. Look at the views that I got when I did my AEW video. And I've gotten a bunch of comments saying that they agree with what I say. They say that, oh, AEW is just another independent promotion, which I said on that video. But then you got the AEW sickos coming at me and saying,
well, if you don't like it, then stop watching.
First of all, that is the most typical comment from a mark I have ever seen. Second of all, you don't tell me what to do. At AEW's World's End, Adam Copeland and Kenny Omega made their return to AEW. And I went to social media and said, Tony, don't mess this up. And what did he do? Well, check this out. After the Continental Classic ended, which by the way was garbage, Kenny Omega came back. He made his return at World's End. Big reaction from the crowd. He gets in the ring and hands the Continental Championship to Kazuchika Okada. This is the problem that I have. Didn't the Young Bucks, Jackass Jack Perry, and Kazuchika Okada kicked Kenny Omega's ass when he had, what was that called? Diverticulitis? Did Kenny Omega somehow forgot about that? And this is the thing with Tony Khan nowadays. He doesn't do long-term storytelling anymore. And look at what Tony Khan did when Adam Copeland made his return. He made his return along with FTR to confront the Death Riders. We had the Death Riders versus Rated FTR. I'll give them credit. That's a really good name for a team. But this is what caught my attention. Rated R superstar Cope? Is it because we have too many Adams on the roster? We went from Adam Copeland to just Cope? I don't understand this. Is Tony Khan starting to change names now? What is Kenny Omega's new name going to be? Omega? And what is Hangman Adam Page going to be just Hangman? I don't know, but I still think that Tony Khan is just losing his mind. Do you guys remember when Tony Storm, yes, Tony Storm, who I thought was going to retire, came back to AEW Dynamite, and what happened? I said the same thing. Tony, I'm talking about Tony Khan, don't mess this up. And what did Tony Khan do? He put Tony Storm, the biggest women's wrestler in AEW, on the 0 hour of World's End. And remember when Jamie Hayter made her return at All In? Oh, guess what? They did her return on the 0 hour of All In. Jamie Hayter is also one of the biggest women's wrestlers in AEW. Tony Khan already fumbled her. Jay White, when he returned, what did he do? Well, you already know. And I want to talk about the most cringe wrestler in AEW right now. And that cringe wrestler is Ricochet. Look, Ricochet is great, but the way that Tony Khan is booking him and having his character, like, what is this thing that he does at the end of his promos? Like, aha! Like, bro, that sounds so freaking cringe. He makes him sound like a freaking idiot. At least when John Cena did it, it wasn't even that cringe. Look at this video. Shout out to All Things Wrestling _ on Instagram for the video. And then, this is the funny part. On Collision, the final Collision of 2024, Ricochet was competing in the Continental Classic against Will Ospreay. While he was doing his entrance, people were throwing toilet paper at him because AEW was doing their shows at the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. It's funny because they can't take Ricochet seriously. And then it continued on World's End. Ricochet was in the middle of the ring after his match. Swerve Strickland comes out and encourages all the fans to wish Ricochet a Happy New Year. And as Swerve Strickland was talking to Ricochet, Prince Nana is handing over toilet paper to the people in the front row in the crowd. And when they said Happy New Year to Ricochet, everybody threw the toilet paper at Ricochet, embarrassing him in the middle of the ring. Now, obviously, this is going to have Ricochet turn heel. But I have a feeling it's just not going to work. If it does, then I'll be on social media and say, I was wrong. But seriously, Tony, you gotta do better. You just launched AEW content on Max. What is that going to do with AEW? But the current product of AEW now? That's not going to help. And guess what? Lots and lots of people are moving away from AEW. They stopped watching. And guess what? You had to cancel Rampage because of that. Good on you, because Rampage was awful. The only times when Rampage was good was when Christian Cage beat Kenny Omega for the Impact World title on the first episode of Rampage, and on the next episode, which was called The First Dance, CM Punk made his return to wrestling. And after all of that, it just died. Rampage became unwatchable. Nothing important was happening on that show. The only time when I watched a full episode of Rampage was when AEW came to my hometown of Laredo. Now, I saw that Tony Khan brought back the Costco guys on that episode of Collision. And yes, I did see Big Boom AJ versus QT Marshall at the 0 Hour of Full Gear. And I'll admit, the match was actually pretty good. Now, I get why you're bringing those guys in, because you want AEW to have the attention that it needs. The thing that AEW needs to do to bring people into the product is storytelling. Now look, he's got stories, but it's not good. The Death Rider story, it's awful. Remember the Elite storyline where the Elite was going to take over AEW? What happened to that? Oh, I know. Tony Khan, this idiot you're seeing right now, literally scrapped the entire story. You could have had the biggest storyline with the Elite, but you decided to throw it all away. And people are comparing this Death Rider story with the NWO, with Sting saving WCW. Who was there to save AEW? Darby Allin. Oh, and where is he again? Exactly. I'm sorry for any AEW sicko that is watching this video. I'm sorry for what I'm about to say. Actually, I'm not. AEW is going to die. AEW is not going to last 10 years. You want to know what the sad part is? If AEW never existed, WWE wouldn't be at its peak right now. That's the truth whether you like it or not. But what do you guys think? Do you think AEW will survive in the next 5 years? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, tap the notification bell for more videos. Follow me on Twitter at Ethan Soy Show, and I'll see you on the next one.